And that's the
Now,
disappointment when you fuck a guy for over an hour and he just go.
Did anybody recognize you from film in the industry? They did? Okay. Well, I just came in. You gotta do what you gotta do.
You are such an advocate. One thing is what I love is I love seeing a lot of the beautiful women that's in the industry as sex advocates.
And I would set up crystals on their body based off of their chakra. And the crystals, what they do is if they sit long enough, they begin to like permeate through the body. They begin to expand through the body and they create a grid.
I shot with John Q too. You know, John Q, you know, I'm the first big girl, but he did inside, you know, inside. Yeah. But
I would, and I have given my last dime to people. I've given when I should have just watched. And it's not always about giving financially. It's giving your space and your time and your energy.
so that's kind of like a 50-50 answer. What I got, that wasn't really a yes or no answer.
I think I actually would, and this is of course the therapist in me, I would be asking them, like, tell me how this is celibacy for you.
So we're first here, and
I shoot them just like I would be shooting a regular human. So you don't put the emphasis on that. So it makes it more consistent with the title of being transgender.
I have a really good friend. She lives here in Atlanta. I met her on a porn set. She wrote a book called From Porn to the Pulpit. Now, I won't say she was like this super... Yeah, she's my best friend. She's my best friend. Her name is Danielle Williams McCord. She wrote an amazing book called From Porn to the Pulpit. She's been preaching for 10 years now, but I met her on a porn set.
In any business that you find yourself in. Because definitely for me, like, you know, creating a product to push to the consumer, and for me, everything was consumer driven. If they didn't want it, I'm not gonna make it because I knew it.
Felt like if we kept our head a little below the sagebrush, that we would just be able to keep on going without any interference or anything like that. But that's
like, dude, I'm sitting in like the dressing room, like just with all the 20-year-olds and 22-year-olds, 25-year-olds. I'm like, how old are you? Oh, I'm 25. I'm like, how old are you? I'm 23. And I'm like, dude, I'm 30.
Before I leave the house, I feel like the last book. You know, this is how I feel, this is what I'm thinking, you know. Now, when I get out and interact with other people, it's going to be what it is.
Right, okay.
Welcome to a podcast like no other. Get ready for insightful conversations, diverse perspectives, and a touch of inspiration. This is Ask Nyomi, Bridging the Gap podcast. Join your host, the dynamic Nyomi Banks, as she delves into the heart of various topics with a refreshing blend of curiosity and wisdom. Each week, tune in as Nyomi is joined by special guests who bring their unique stories and expertise to the table. It's a journey of discovery, learning, and growth. And let's not forget about the one and only dog pound Mike, adding his flavor and flair to the mix. Together, they make a dynamic duo you won't want to miss. From thought-provoking discussions to moments of laughter and joy, Ask Nyomi. Bridging the Gap podcast offers a space where great topics meet amazing guests. So, mark your calendars, set your reminders, and prepare to be entertained and enlightened. Join Nyomi Banks and Dog Pound Mike weekly for an unforgettable podcast experience. Get ready to bridge the gap, expand your horizons, and immerse yourself in the world of Ask Nyomi. Subscribe now and stay tuned for a podcast journey like no other.
all right, my beautiful people, well, welcome to Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast. This is where we talk about love, sex, relationship, cultural differences, and so much more while bridging the gap between them all and teaching the world on sex, love, language, attitude, and some spiritual uplifting. I am your host, Nami Banks. And today we have a very special guest. We have Roman Fisher. He is a high performance coach who has helped over 50 people transform their physical and mental health. And before we bring him to the stage, we're going to take a quick break. But before we take a break, Dal Pound Mike Mike, do you know what a high performance coach is?
No, I don't.
All right, BTG crew. I see y'all out there. Do y'all know what a high performance coach is? But that's okay, because y'all don't know. We're going to find out today, because when we come back from this break, we're going to bring Roman in, and he's going to tell us what it is that he does and how he helped transform people mental to break their old patterns. All right. It's your girl, the goddess, Nami Banks, here on Ask Nami Bridging the Gap podcast. We will be right back.
Washington Wellness Institute focuses on healing always. For me, if I look good, then I feel good. If I feel good, then I share the good. If I share the good, then I celebrate the good. If I celebrate the good, then I live the good. So I can be paid to be my greatest. But I have to learn the good to be the good.
So, what does it take to be the greatest? It's as simple as a free 15-minute consultation. Be kind to yourself and heal always.
What are some common barriers that prevent people from expressing? Hey, it's your girl, the goddess, Nami Banks, here from the Season of Self-Love podcast.
Yeah, I would say remorse. So shame and guilt is a very dividing emotional.
And these are one of the many amazing conversations that we have every day, Monday through Friday, right here on the Season of Self-Love podcast with myself, Nami Banks, as well as our resident therapist, Dr. Will Washington of Washington Wellness Institute. Come by.
The reality of our relationships with people.
Come by.
And a lot of times we're afraid of how people look at us. And so that compassion can't enter.
You can hit us on our
So that's a
website,
really
the
big
Season
barrier.
of Self-Love podcast.com. Let me ask you this, with the truth, is it... All right, well, welcome back to Ask Nami Bridging the Gap podcast. And today, I am so thrilled to welcome Roman Fisher to the show. Roman is a dedicated high-performance coach with a passion for transforming lives through health and wellness, with experiencing of helping over 50 individuals to reshape not just their bodies, but also their mindsets. He embodies the essence of resilience and determination, having turned personal challenges into opportunities for growth. Roman advocates for a holistic approach to fitness that encompasses nutrition, mental health, and overall well-being. His unique perspective and expertise have made him a beacon of inspiration for many looking to elevate their lives. So please join me in welcoming Roman Fisher. How you doing, Roman? Oh, we can't hear you. Hold on a second. There we go. Can we? There we go.
There we
How
go.
are you?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm great. Again, welcome to the BTG crew. That's what we call it, the Bridging the Gap crew here.
Nice.
I welcome you. For everyone who don't know, everyone don't know what a high performance coach is. So if you can explain exactly what a high performance coach is.
Yeah, for sure. Being a high performance coach, it's a lot more than just being your average everyday standard fitness coach or fitness trainer that you see at a gym. And I'm not knocking gym trainers, all right? I'll be saying that right now just to start with. But there is a difference, though. There is definitely a substantial difference between the two. Gym trainers, they do give and help their clients, with workouts customized to their goals and their overall results they want to see. And they sometimes do, depending on the trainer, might give a meal plan. Where the high performance coach definitely differs, though, is they do similar things to that to get them to their goals, but they take it to a whole new level of helping them with their mindset and really having that as the foundation. Because really, mindset, let's just be honest, mindset is the foundation of anything,
Yes.
anything and everything that you do in life, especially when it is fitness related. Because if your mindset is not set right, I love saying it like that too. If your mindset is not set in the right place, in the right light, in the right path, then no amount of reps and sets and even the proper form in your workouts is going to fully do it for you. So you gotta have your mindset, dialed in right first. Because if you're not in a positive headspace, you're not going to get the results you want, because you're not going to have the drive, the tenacity, the motivation and consistency to keep going in your workouts, in your fitness journey. Because eventually you're going to hit a standstill where you're going to start losing fire, drive, and motivation. So that's definitely something I've noticed. And a lot of clients that I've worked with, they really do appreciate not just getting the customization to their workouts and meals, but honestly, getting that mindset coaching with it wrapped up in one. Because that mindset, again, it is literally the foundation. It's just like if you're building a house, you got to have that foundation laid out first, set in stone before you can build upon it. You can't just, give a diet, give some workouts, and even customize it, but not have any layer of, consistency to back it up with. So that's what really does, differ high performance coaches from just regular, standard
Yeah.
run of the mill gym trainers or coaches.
Yeah, because you hear that a lot. You hear high performance coach a lot and really not really knowing what it means. One thing is that I talk about self-love a lot. I talk about self-love on here and on my other podcast, The Season of Self-Love. And I
Yep.
heard you say that mindset is a foundation. And I truly believe that it's a part of the foundation along with self-love. Because if we don't have that intimate relationship with ourselves and understanding who we are, then we're
Yeah.
unable to be able to make those changes in our lives. Right now, at this time, we're reading over there at the Season of Self-Love, we actually reading a book called Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life by
Oh,
Bob
nice.
Proctor. That is an amazing book that we are reading right now. And as I continue to read it over, I've read it at least 15 times, probably more than that, that I've read it within these past month. It's been about a month that I've read it. It just keep reminding me of certain things about with your mindset, about
Oh, yeah.
changing your paradigm or your bad habits that you have. And one of the things that he said about that is the hardest thing is when people are losing weight and how you make a choice. You want to make a choice, but it's hard because not only are you giving up something, but you also are changing something. So for you being a high performance, how would you go about doing that? Because that's also of changing a paradigm of somebody or changing their habits. So what will be your initial
Yeah.
initial plan going forward for a person who's ready or feel that they're ready to change their paradigm in that sense? Does that make sense?
Yeah, so basically someone that's wanting to finally make the change and
Mhm.
start their fitness journey of losing weight, essentially.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely. So anyone in that, boat or position, if I have anyone that I take on as a client in that, certain scenario or position, I always have them to remember to start small. I cannot stress enough, and I know all too well for my own personal experience and my fitness journey that when I first got into fitness, I was so obsessed with just trying to go all in and all out right away. Like literally just give it my all. It was all or nothing at first. But I quickly realized that yes, it is good to aim high, dream big, and have big goals by
Yeah.
all means. But there's a point where you can burn yourself out and wear yourself out and overwhelm yourself. So that's what I love to really advocate and have my clients understand, especially new ones that I take on like that. Just to know that this is a journey. This is a process. It's progress over perfection. Literally, don't chase perfection. Chase the opportunity to be better than you were yesterday, but don't chase perfection. So that's the first and foremost thing that I really like to get that into their headspace. And again, it's all about the mindset. So getting that in their mindset, early on, it really does help because it prevents them from being set up for disappointment and for thinking that, hey, I got to lose 20 pounds in 2 weeks, some
Yeah.
crazy, crazy goal like that. Not to say you can't lose weight a little fast and still be healthy, but it's better to lose slower anyway. Because for one, it's not always doable given the person's metabolism, but
Right.
also it can be a little challenging if you're trying to lose that much that quick, for example, because that can be really rough on your body and just how you feel and your overall energy. So, really, just starting small, not going all in right away, not working out 5, 6, 7 days a week like some people. think they have to, but rather just take it slow. Do 3, maybe 4 times, but I really say 3 times a week. Doing some full body, circuits is a great way to start out in that, because you can actually free yourself up of a lot of time, a lot of hassle, just working out 3 days a week, doing some circuit training. And you can literally do this at home. That's what I love to tell some clients too that don't have the gym, to access. I just say, hey, no worries. If you like, being at home, or you just can't get to the gym all the time, we can always just do home-based calisthenic workouts, even if you have no weights at home. And we
Right.
can just do some full body circuits, maybe some push-ups, some jumping jacks, some body weight squats, things like that. Of course, work your whole body in the workout, and then rest for about a minute and a half at the end of that circuit for that round, and then go back at it for maybe another 2, 3 rounds tops. And you can literally get a solid workout in like 15, 20 minutes, and honestly make amazing results without really wearing yourself out all week and draining yourself. So that's a good starting point for a lot of the new clients that I take on in that position.
See, that's some great advice.
Yeah.
That's some great advice, because I am so guilty. Like when I go in hard, because
Yeah.
I am an athlete. So I play basketball and ran track through high school and part of college. So that is what I do. Like and I'm trying to get myself used to, like, baby, that is not the same body that you had when you was 15, 20 years old. But in
Yeah.
my mind, it's like, come on, we can do this, we can do that. And so
Yep.
now I have to tell myself, all right, let's take this slow. We can do a 30-minute workout or a 45 workout every other day. But up until when did I pull my back? I think it was in July. I
Oh,
was
wow. Yeah.
doing it like every day. Like every day I was doing a nice workout every day. And it tends to burn you out.
It
Um,
does.
yeah, it does. I like when I was reading your profile and everything, and I like how you truly do take a holistic approach to your health. Um, and I like how you even explain some part of it. Can you go more deeper in explaining more of achieving long-term success while going through holistically? Hold on 1 second. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, all good. No
I'm
worries.
sorry.
No worries. Yeah, you're good. What I found is the most effective way to get long-term results, outside of just, pure holistic approach with this, is not only to start gradual, start small, work your way up, but also I found too that, creating even a small game plan of how you want to, have your workout schedule look. Like, do you want to consistently do 3 times a week? Do you want to go up to 4 times at some point? And it's totally fine, to go from 3 days to 4 days after several weeks if you want to. But create a good game plan and don't go too hard on yourself, no matter what you do. So really, again, starting small, working your way up, creating a good, solid game plan and layout for your future. I've also found too, to keep this as a long-term thing, is to write down each win you get along the way. Because even if it's not a huge win,
Yeah.
honestly, track everything. And when I say track everything, I mean to track every little and big win along the way, no matter how big or small that might be. So maybe you lost a pound. I mean, even that, or even if you saw just a little bit of definition in your arms or on your stomach where you want to see it, even if it's just a very little smidge of definition and it's not super noticeable, but you saw it. If you saw it, hey, that's tracking time right there. So you got to track that win, track that change, track anything and everything that you're seeing in a positive way and a positive transition in your fitness. So that's going to keep you from honestly doubting yourself and doubting your journey as a whole. Because when you can track each little win, even the smallest of small wins, you're going to naturally just want to keep going from that. Literally writing this stuff down, I found, is even the best way to do it. And that's what I do a lot with my clients, is I'll have them track their wins, especially at the end of the coaching calls that I do with them. And it's really crazy because they don't always know what wins they actually had. But when I get them in that, thought process, they
Yeah.
start collecting all these wins they didn't know. And they didn't think they knew them, but they see them, they're like, holy man, like I have all these wins and this is crazy. But it has really been proven and honestly very, very beneficial to keep people on track and keep people, with the process of their fitness journey. And it's been proven to work to not have them, give up. Or anyone listening and watching right now, if you follow this and you track your wins, it's going to be monumental for your results. And in the long run, it's going to pay off because you're going to notice it's going to be hard to quit. Like you're actually going to be looking forward to the next win that you can write down. Even if it's not, something that someone would say is a win, if you can see or consider it as a win, it's a win. That's how I see it. And I got to admit, beyond that, another thing I found to be very effective in terms of just seeing this for the long haul and for the long term is knowing your why in all this. Know your why, understand your why, pinpoint your why specifically on point. Write this stuff down. Yes, you can type it in your phone, you can say it out loud. That's very effective and helpful, but it's not even nearly as effective. I wouldn't even say halfway as effective as if you write this pen to paper. Because if you do that, I know it's old school. Some people like the digital stuff. I do too, but I also love writing my stuff down as well. Because I notice that it does really do something. Because physically, when you write that down, you jot it down on paper, it embeds it into your subconscious mind. It really does. And then you start believing it, even if you didn't believe it at first when you first thought about it. And when you can really get crystal clear on your why you did this journey from day one, why you started this, the overall driving reason, and getting deep on it, not just some surface level why, but really, really collecting the overall information that, is your why and really what drives you, what makes you, want to keep going to the gym, what gets you up in the morning to want to better your health. So all those are very effective reasons. And I found that's a great way that's been keeping me going. And I'll say it like this. If there's anything I can say that really proves that this is working, other than with my clients, I've been working out since I was 15. I'm 26 now. So remembering my why and all this has kept me going for 11 years already straight. And I'll be honest, not even exaggerating. It might sound crazy, might sound exaggerated, but I've only skipped 1 week of working out in my whole 11 years of, of training. So really, really getting deep and crystal clear on your why that is why it's so paramount. And that is why it's so crucial, because you got to know, what is the reason you're in this to begin with? Because if you don't have a reason, you're not going to feel obligated to it. You're going to be like, well, okay, I want to be healthy, but sometimes it's just not enough. When you really dig in deep, if you have a good solid reason, like, hey, I want to be there for my family, I want to be able to live longer to see maybe my grandkids or whatever it might be. But things like that, reasons like that are very, very powerful for sure.
Yeah. You know what? Thank you for sharing that, Roman. Like truly. First of all, I want to ask you a question before I share something with you. What is your why? What is your why? You said you started at 15 years old and you've been
Yeah.
doing this
Oh yeah.
for almost
Been a
11
while.
years for a while. Now, at a young age of 15 years old and only missed 1 week, what was your why at such a young age?
Yeah, and it's crazy because not many people at my age even really care much about working out,
Right.
unless it's just maybe to get fit for a sport or something like that. But my why, I'll be honest, and this was before I even saw a lot of people pass away due to bad health and poor health. So, of course, that helped solidify my why more as I got older. But long before that, several years before that even came into play and was a factor in my life, it was honestly my why, because I wanted to be healthy to be able to live longer. And it's crazy as a 15-year-old that I was thinking like that, but I'm glad I did because it really is helpful. But I wanted to be healthy. I wanted to be able to live longer, and I wanted to be able to do things. And I was, I'm a very much a visionary, so I love thinking ahead and envisioning my future and the future as a whole and
Yeah.
society. But really getting crystal clear on that and just wanting to be healthy and live longer for my family, live longer to see if I had kids, or even just for my wife, to be with my wife. Because even if I wouldn't have kids, just to be there longer for her when I would get married. And then to be able to travel the world, see a lot more things, learn a lot of different languages, have more time to be able to do that, knowing that I'm able and healthy to do that. And then honestly, to be able to help other people out, because even at that young of an age, I was really much a humanitarian. So I really like helping people out. And even at that point, I really was passionate about helping others out, because I remembered, a community program I was doing with my family for a church I was in. We actually, gave Thanksgiving food to families that didn't have a lot of money. So really did enjoy the humanitarian aspect and culture of that. And that honestly went well with my trait of being a humanitarian. So when I tied all that together, and just the love of fitness and how I felt and the endorphins I got from that, and wanting to be healthy to live longer to be able to help other people out, I'm like, that's my driving reason. That's my why. Be healthy, live longer, see the world, be able to see different cultures, learn new languages, and help people along my path. I was thinking about all that at such a young age. And I
Yeah.
was thinking, man, I can't, it's so tempting to not want to be always the healthiest and just eat whatever you see if it looks good, but at that age, but I was starting to, get that why, that hey, I can't do that. This why is too important to me. I really, really have a vision for my future. I want to start, a business at some point. I was already thinking about that. Hey, I want to start a business, or at least some kind of business. I wasn't sure at that age, of course, what it was, but I was already thinking in that headspace. I want to have some kind of business. I want to help people out. I want to be physically fit and able so I can do that and be around longer with my family and just do more. So in a nutshell, that is my why. Just be able to be around longer and live longer so I can help other people out, essentially. No
Right.
doubt.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Because you being at 15 years old and thinking that forward like that, usually people would say that as an old soul. But
Yeah.
it's just like you truly just tapped into who you really are. You tapped into your spirituality way before a lot of people even could even understand what that is. You know
Right.
what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny you
Yeah.
say that too. I've been told that I'm an old soul, so to speak. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, because
cool.
I wouldn't have thought that you were 26 years old, just the way that you carry yourself and the way you're speaking, and
Yeah.
just 15 years old. I'm just
Yeah.
thinking about my little one, like 15 years old. She's thinking about bomb bombs and all that other stuff. She's not thinking about working out. But what I wanted to share before, I asked you that question is because these are things that we truly need to hear, even about the why.
Yeah.
In understanding what the why is. Earlier this year, I remember doing this. First of all, I would have never thought that will be on a yo-yo diet, is what I call it. Would never have thought that
Yep.
I would be on a yo-yo diet, because I've always kept my weight at a certain level, not having to do anything. Now that I'm in my 50s, premenopause, everything, now the weight kind of stays on. Now it's getting to where it's coming unhealthy. So
Right.
now my why is not for me the way that I look, because I used to always be in front of the camera. Now it's so I can be able to get out of bed. It's like be able to be healthy and live my life, so I can be there for my children, for my children's children, and
Yeah.
like you said. But it took me, excuse my language, damn near 50 years or 45 years to really understand, like, okay, I kind of like took advantage of my body before, that I was gifted, that I didn't really have to work out like that, my body was kind of like doing its own thing and giving me, what I want. But
Right.
now it's like, huh. So now I have to, my why is not to look good in a bikini anymore. Now my why is because I truly want to feel good when I get up in the morning. So now I have to be cautious and understand on what I'm eating,
Oh yeah,
what I put into my body.
for
Because
sure.
as we get older, both men and women, the food that we ate when we were 10, 15, 20, and 30, those foods still do not agree with our body and our makeup now. That's what I'm starting to understand with my body.
Yeah.
And a lot of times is, how you have those what do you call, like, when you have those urges and those cravings, and it's like your body go through like a whole kind of detox, and you feel like a little crackhead because you ain't had no man potato chips.
Yeah.
Potato chips. And so now I'm trying to figure out a way on how to make my own homemade potato chips out of air fry. So I need to find me a new air fry machine that I can make my own air fry with, using me some the superfood. So use me
Okay. Nice.
some ginger, maybe I'm about to tell my ingredients. So maybe some ginger chips and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So I can still eat my chips, but I'm making my own chips to be so healthy. So I'm still able to do and eat some of the foods that I like,
Yeah.
from there. But that was what my why was. But when I went in too hard. And me going in too hard, I end up injuring my back.
Yeah.
So now I have been out for a few months, but now I'm slowly getting back into it. And you coming on today, just that spill that you get, that was just like, okay, he's now reminding me of what my why is again.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I thank you for that. And I see a couple of our people in BTGs like, wow, because you're now giving us our why. Like, here is our why. It ain't about if we look good in our bikini or you look good in that three-piece suit or whatever like that going to the war. It's like, are we going to be healthy? Are we going to be
Exactly.
healthy for the year 2005? I mean, 2025, 2026. Are we going to be able to, we opening up those new businesses? You know what I'm saying? So that, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's very important. Health is wealth. Health is definitely the most important thing anybody can ever have. Without health, without the proper and sufficient health, no amount of money is ever gonna take care of us, right? So always making sure our health is literally at the top of the game. Always.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. All right. So I got another question for you. So you work with over 50 individuals to transform their lifestyle, right? So what common obstacles do you see people facing when they attempt to make these changes? You. Mhm.
No worries. You said what is the biggest obstacle when people are trying to change?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the biggest obstacle I've noticed and have found, with a lot of people when they're trying to change their bodies and physiques and honestly just become healthier, I would have to say at first, it is literally just like the title of the episode, about breaking bad old habits that are not serving you. It has really been that with a lot of the people that I've, worked with starting out. They're trying to get rid of those old habits. They're trying to break away from sugar addictions. That's a common one. I know I was a huge heavy sugar addict growing up around 15, and then of course started changing that and phasing that out. Thank God. But yeah, that is a huge, huge, huge problem for a lot of people, and that's what I found is a huge obstacle for a lot of the new clients that I take on. Is they're trying to get out of their out of
Yeah.
their own way. They're trying to get out of their old habits and old ways with nutrition. And it goes beyond, of course, nutrition. That's probably one of the biggest ones, though, that I've found. Trying to get motivated to work out, that's a little bit of an issue I've found with some people, but mainly it is them trying to get away from their old eating habits. And I
Right.
found that is a lot of it. Of course, nutrition is 80%, at least 80% of your results, anyhow. But trying to fight those cravings for some people, that is literally their demon, for lack of a better word. So yeah, I have found that that's a heavy problem. And beyond that, I would have to say too, it's the mindset that, hey, I'm not seeing results in my first week. Of course, things take time, but them not believing in themselves more so, and not
Yeah.
believing that they're going to get the results for themselves. because they're not seeing it right away. So basically, not getting the instant results that they're wanting, but then understanding later on, of course, they start realizing, hey, again, this is, in fact, progress over perfection. Yes, I do want the results right away, ideally overnight, but nothing worth it ever comes easy. Nothing worth having ever comes easy. And this is definitely a process, and my body's always under construction. But, with so much hard work, effort, patience, tenacity, and consistency, I'm going to get to my goals and I'm going to achieve the ideal physique I want. It's just, a stretch away, but I'm going to get there. It's just going to take time. It's going to take effort. But they start realizing that and they start understanding, wow, this honestly, it does work. But yeah, just putting in that effort, showing up, consistently at least a few times to the gym or at home with a workout, and just following the guide. And that's been so amazing though when I see the results that they're getting and them seeing, their results. It is literally life changing for me, even because I'm seeing their own transformation. But I would have to say though, it is definitely just getting, in the better habits more so, and trying to then see results at first. But once they get past that little roadblock or hurdle, then they literally take off. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love when you say my body is always under construction. I love that. I love that. I love that. Here's another question for you. Can you share any particular challenges or cases where you helped someone overcome a significant barriers, and what strategies did you implement?
Yeah, for sure. So one of my clients that I've had before, her name was Pamela, actually, and she did not have a lot of motivation at first to want to work out. In fact, she was more weighed down, more depressed, and had a rough history of being addicted. Like I was mentioning about sugar, she was super addicted to a lot of those, Starbucks, people love their Starbucks, I get it, but she was super addicted to, the sugary coffees that you can get at Starbucks. And people don't realize that they're drinking their calories. Just in general, people don't realize that they're actually a lot of the times drinking their calories. And so she was definitely one of those people. And she realized when she was working with me, she was like, man, I didn't know I was drinking my calories as much as I was. I was drinking hundreds of calories just in a coffee. And I was like, yeah, it's one of those things that happen. But after so much, time of that, and then her realizing that, catching on to that, and then of course I did give her a cheat meal, every once in a while. But after that, she started just eating better. She started eating better, getting on a better, healthier eating pattern and a way of living and a way of life. And then she started realizing, man, this isn't so bad, because her body wasn't adjusting to, because basically I gradually tapered her off the unhealthier foods, which is a lot easier and better than going cold turkey. But after I did that, she honestly, over time and gradually, just started eating the healthier foods and then didn't want all those unhealthier foods at that point. And in fact, she found that those foods and drinks that she used to have just didn't taste the same. They didn't taste as good as they did before, because she started to develop more of a craving and taste for the healthier foods, the healthier drinks that we're actually serving
Right.
for health and helping her thrive, not just survive.
Right. Nice. Nice. Roman, I want to ask you this. Do you mind if we take any calls? We want to open up the lines and take some calls. You mind?
Yeah, that's cool.
All right. All right, my beautiful people. We're going to open up our lines. You can give us a call at 626-605-2756. That's 626-605-2756, as well as Dog Pound Mike. He's going to put up a nice little a link for you to join in the conversation. Again, we have Roman Fisher here. He's a high performance coach. And if you have any questions for him right now, if you are trying to get fit for the new year, I know the holidays is coming up. You know how we all try to get our eats
Oh
on.
yeah.
How we
Getting
try
in
to
that
get our
zone.
eats on, right? And you want to just before the new year is coming along, and you want to, okay, what can I do? Give us a call here right now. I'm here at Ask Naomi. Again, the phone number is 626-605-2756. That's 626-605-2756. And while we wait for the phone calls to come through, I got another question for you. So nutrition often seems so very, very overwhelming
Yeah.
for many. What are some simple changes that people can start making today to improve their eating habits?
Yeah, for sure. So one of the things I would say, first and foremost, is to just to start with, focus on drinking enough water, drinking more water. That's the first and foremost thing I can give to anyone because this is the easiest thing that anybody can start doing. It's not going to be something they're fighting against. If anything, they're probably going to start welcoming it, especially if they start getting more active. So I would say try to aim for at least 8 to 10 cups of water a day. If you're super active, you could justify a gallon. It's not technically necessary unless you're just like always on it, super active, especially if you're competing. You could, like in a competition, but for general health and wellness, I would say 8 to 10 cups is typically good enough, especially if you're not like insanely active. From there, I would also recommend don't worry about those fad diets. Any yo-yo fad diets, I would not recommend them. Not to say you can't do them or try them just for the sake of trying them, but honestly, why even bother? Because
Right.
they're not sustainable. They're not sustainable. They're gonna really make it hard to stick to because they're so restrictive. No matter which fad diet you go with or pick. Beyond that, I would just focus on high protein, moderate carb, moderate fat for the most part. Depending on your goals, you can adjust it. But no matter what your goals are, just to simply get into a better way of eating, focus on more protein. Lean protein is usually the better way to go. Not to say red meat's not good. It's okay, but I would just have that a few times a week. But typically opt for more, high protein that's more lean than anything. It's going to be easier to digest, better for your heart, your system, your whole body, and the internal system of your body. And then also, carbs and fat. Just have a balanced diet overall, and make sure you're not having more than 36 grams of sugar added to your foods each day. And then also make sure that your sodium isn't insanely high because that's one of those things. People will literally have a lot more sodium than they think. And I've done it before in my past. But when you start tracking how much salt is in your food, you don't have to track every single milligram, but it's more so just look for more lower sodium options when you do get certain meats. And opt for frozen chicken. Opt for frozen chicken. It doesn't have a lot of salt, has very little salt because there's no salt added. It's all naturally derived from the chicken. And then you could also go ahead and just don't add much salt to your foods. And if you do, get like a little teaspoon measurer to really then you can see how much you're getting. But for the most part, don't add a lot of salt. Uh, Keep your sodium low. Have enough protein. Make sure you're getting your vegetables, more vegetables than fruit. I'm not saying fruit's bad. Fruit's really good, but you don't want to have any more than 3 to 4 cups a day. Because if you have more than 4 cups, you can start getting too much natural sugar, which is technically not good either. Still better than a lot of added sugar. Still want to limit that though. So yeah, again, just high protein, moderate amount of fat. 20 to 30% of your calories can come from fat, 30% from protein, 35 at the most. And then literally everything else can come from your carbs. And I would just focus on whole grains, brown rice, jasmine rice. I love jasmine rice myself. And then you can also do sweet potatoes. You can also focus on fruits then too, and then vegetables like carrots, broccoli, kale, spinach. A lot of different great options, cucumbers that you can try out, and then literally just make up certain meals that you like based off of those ingredients. Just to name some right there, but really don't obsess over calories, but more so focus on your proteins, your fats and carbs, and then how that can, add up to your calories that you need to take. But
Yeah.
essentially, just staying away from a lot of a lot of sodium, a lot of sugar, especially added sugar, and making sure you're getting enough water and that you're eating and you're at least portioning your meals to you. You're not eating way too much.
That's great advice. Lately I've been doing with called the superfoods. So I've been doing ginger root, avocado, chai seeds, flax seeds.
Oh, nice.
What else? Yeah, I've been doing all of that. And actually, I've been doing it for the past week and a half, and I've already lost 8 pounds.
Oh, nice. That's how you
Yeah,
do it. That's
yeah, just
awesome.
yeah, just doing that. And hadn't really been working out. I really hadn't been working out, just walking for right now.
Yeah.
And I feel good. Like I've been having a little sugar, but that's just so I can just have a little energy, but it hasn't been bad. But
Yeah.
otherwise it's been pretty good with that. And I kind of like that because I heard you say about the fat because I was going through that for a minute. And then when I had saw this posting, I was like, wait, hold on. This is kind of helpful. I kind of like that because I'm still able to eat some of the things that I like to eat,
Oh, yeah.
but it's just about the combinations with the different superfoods. That's so I did my research. I went through to did my research on what superfoods I like and putting them with different things. For the very first time that I had avocado in my yogurt.
Oh, wow.
and it and it
Nice.
tastes good. I didn't think it would, but it tasted good.
Yeah. Yeah, you never know. I mean, some food combinations don't taste great to certain people, and then some really do, and you just don't always expect it. You really don't. One thing that I found kind of funny was I never thought that, and I don't have it a lot, but having tuna with some, honey mustard. I had never thought about doing that or Dijon mustard. And then
Mhm.
sometimes adding in Dijon mustard, honey mustard, and ketchup together, mixing that up, having that with tuna. There's a lot of different ways you can navigate, the nutrition or nutritional landscape and really make it your own. So it's
Yeah.
really cool how that can work.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Roman. Well, we have a caller on the line right now. Okay, we're gonna get Rock Hard. Mm-hmm.
Hey, what's
Hey, Rock
happening?
Hard, how you doing?
How's it
What's
going?
good?
How's it going?
What's going on with y'all? How y'all doing today? What's happening, Dog Pound?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
That's what's up. So let's see, we got a workout ahead today.
Yes, he's a high performance coach, and he was just giving us the 411 on things that we should eat and what we should not eat and stay away from.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I know my problems is cookies. That's my weaknesses.
So you a
That's
sugar
funny.
baby?
Oh yeah, I have a major sweet tooth. Yeah, like it's crazy because it's like even when I do diet, when I fast, one thing that's hard for me to give up is cookies. That's my main thing. Like that's the hardest thing for me. But
So
go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say like when do you diet? Like what's a diet to you? Like how do you diet?
Yeah. So how I diet, I don't even. I'll just start with this. I don't even like saying the word diet. I'll be honest with you. Just first and foremost, I always like to think of it as a lifestyle, not just a phase or a diet, but more so a lifestyle and a long term thing for my whole entire life. So that's how I like to envision it and see it and perceive it. Beyond that, I will say when it comes to the context of how to eat clean, how to eat better. I will say, depending where you're at, if you do have a lot of cravings, I do suggest at least giving yourself one cheat meal a week. That way, you're not going to set yourself up for wanting to splurge and just go all out and eat and healthy every day. This keeps it in a context where you can still give yourself a reward at the end of the week, but you can still
Mm-hmm.
have the rest of the week to eat primarily clean foods. Now, there is another way to do this too. That's one of the best ways to do it because you're not just splurging on high sugar, unhealthy foods and mainly eating clean. Now, another good way of doing this is the 80 by 20 method, where you can mainly eat or 80% of what you eat can be healthy, and 20% of it not nearly as healthy, but you're still giving yourself that leeway of mainly eating healthy. So that's another way to do that. And then eventually you can gradually start eating mainly clean. Maybe have a cheat meal at the end of the week, like I was saying first. And then eventually, if you don't feel like you need a cheat meal, you can literally just cut it out. It's crazy because I don't even have a cheat meal. Maybe like once, twice a year for like a special occasion, Thanksgiving, things like that. But that's a great way to do it. Also, I will say another really, really powerful method of getting rid of a lot of these added sugars is there are healthier ways to make this, make these kind of things. You can literally make cookies similar to what you're eating that taste similar, but you can find natural flavorings that can mimic the same exact taste and flavoring that you usually have. So I'm not sure like what cookie is your favorite. You might like all of them. You might like certain ones more than others. And I totally get that. I know I was a huge, sugar cookie guy and Reese's and chocolate type guy for cookies. But I will say there's ways you can make it similar to that, but mimic the taste in a healthier way and fashion by having, vanilla extract and other types of natural flavors added to those cookies. And then you can literally use, healthier dough that's not just, the unhealthy processed white dough that they use in the bakeries. So there's different ways you can navigate it, but finding those natural flavors that you can add to those, foods or snacks or, candies or snacks like this, that can actually make it a lot easier to consume without, just going overboard and eating unhealthy, if that makes sense.
No, it
Hopefully
makes
that made
total sense.
Yeah. It does. Even when you sit and you think about eating healthy, it means that you truly eating intentional because you have to truly sit and create and make your meals.
Yeah.
As you say, like even if you want to eat something sweet or something like that, you have to literally make your cookies, bake, like back in old school, back in the day when your grandmother used to be in the kitchen and she used to cook the cake and the cookies and all of those good things. Now you truly have to get in there and make sure that you combining these ingredients healthy wise for you to be able to get those same ingredients and taste. There was a question that I had to ask you. How important are supplements and vitamins? How important are those?
Yes, as far as how important supplements and vitamins go, I will say it's not like a make or break thing. Like you can't get results. Like let's say someone's trying to lose weight or maybe gain muscle or maybe a combination thereof. They're wanting to do more of a body recomposition. If that's the case or scenario for that person, you don't have to have these vitamins like multivitamins, the collagen powder, protein powder, and all these other supplements they have on the market. But I will say, though, there is a benefit and there is an upper hand, so to speak, that you will get and that you can get if you do take supplements. So certain ones aren't really necessary. Like I will say, you don't have to have a multivitamin if you get enough vitamins from your food and you have a whole base, meal plan and diet as it is. So, or I like to just say nutrition or way of eating. So if you already have whole foods you eat and you have enough vitamins, you don't need a multivitamin. Also, there's other supplements out there you don't really have to take either, like pre-workout. You can literally just take coffee or you can literally bite into an apple. Apples are known to give you a lot of energy. I've actually found the research on it, and literally apples will give you just as much, if not more energy than coffee. Literally, it's crazy. It's crazy the energy you can get from that. Also, jumping jacks I found are a great way to get your energy going without literally doing a full-fledged workout. So that's a great way to also, but I will say in regards to the supplements that are necessary to take, creatine, if you do want to get, results and quicker results with muscle growth, muscle endurance, muscle recovery, creatine specifically, HCl is my favorite. Creatine hydrochloride is what it fully stands for. And so what I love about that is it does exactly that. And again, it's not something you have to have, but this is a supplement worth looking into and taking, honestly. Another one worth supplementing with is fish oil. If you want to help your heart health and also your joint health, fish oil is very, very, very effective and very important to get to help with those things. And then I also want to throw in this too, uh, having, you know, having collagen, if you want to help your skin health, bone health, nail health, all those things throughout your body, on your body, having collagen powder is very, very effective too to make your skin look more youthful, just help the elasticity on your skin and really just feel better, feel more youthful in the process. So those are some supplements I will have to say are worth having if you do want to fast track your results, make yourself look, better, healthier. And I almost forgot there is one other one that you don't have to, but you should consider taking to better your results. If you are dealing with muscle soreness, cramps, spasms, and you just want that recovery a lot more, other than creatine, I would also suggest you take BCAAs. Branched chain amino acids is what that is. And so you can take this in the form of powder. There's some other ways to take it, I'm sure, at this point, but powder form is one of the best and cheapest ways of getting it. And you can find it on Amazon, of course, go to the store, but I would suggest looking for the plant-based ones, the plant-based options, but definitely BCAAs is going to help your muscle soreness immensely. So
Nice. Beautiful. Thank you. Rock Hard, do you have any other questions before I let you go, baby?
oh,
Oh, gone. Oh, he gone.
he just dropped, I guess.
Oh, he gone. Okay. Roman, we did have Dr. Michael, we had a question up here. We had one more question before we close it out. Then I want you to share some things with our audience.
Okay.
It was Jamara said
Yeah.
something. He
said a bunch of things. Hold on, let me get to them.
He asked about meditation. I believe that's what it was. He asked about, there it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
It said,
Oh, cool. There we go. Yes, Roman, how
meditation on your high performance training?
Yes. So when it in regards to that, I will be honest, I don't do a lot of just heavy, meditation or a lot of proper meditation as it's known widely in the industry, especially with yoga. I don't do a lot of the traditional meditation, but I will say my form of meditation, it's a bit more simple. But what's cool is it's still very effective and anybody can do it, no matter how, experienced you might be in it. So what I would say is I usually just go outside, no matter where it might be, preferably somewhere not around a lot of people, close my eyes, take some deep breaths in and out, the basics, inhale, exhale, and then clear my mind, listen to what's around me where no one's there, just nature and just my surroundings in nature. And literally it sounds a little new agey, I'm not going to lie, but becoming one with nature, literally, you are becoming one with nature because you're literally resetting your mind inside the environment that is nature around you. And so that's what I do when I'm feeling, stressed or anxious. And I suggest that too with my clients that are trying to, just feel better. So it is in a nutshell, it's very important. It's very important, very, very important. And sometimes too, what I'll tell my clients is if they're dealing with a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, and honestly, just a lot of different struggles of any sort, coming into their life, I tell them not only go out in nature, but sometimes take your shoes off, take your socks off, have
Yes.
your feet touch the grass and
Yes.
feel the
Yes.
grass under your feet. And literally that alone, studies and research has shown and proven
Yes.
that alone is going to immensely and drastically reduce your anxiety and stress tenfold. So
I am a
there's so
tree
much
hugger.
to that. Yeah,
I
exactly.
am yes, that's me. I'm a tree hugger too.
Yeah, it seriously, I mean, and that too, and you can literally take it, several steps further,
Yeah.
do that, literally feel the flowers, especially the flowers that are soft, like tulips, soft, the soft petals that you can have. And literally, I've done it growing up. I would take flowers and literally just do that. Like it's as if it's a stress ball, and just
Yeah.
do that around my fingers and just back and forth. Literally, just anything in your environment, taking advantage of it, being resourceful, but at the same time, letting loose, relaxing, and again, becoming one with nature. But it is very, very effective and very, very important in my whole entire high performance, coaching and training.
Right. Thank you for that. We got one more question. Brush. We got one more question.
Yeah, we do. Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Thoughts on how you say that?
Ashwagandha.
Yeah, see it there. And you want to know that's one of the superfoods and how he's been hearing a lot about lately. So
Yeah, my thoughts on it. So it's not just like with any supplement, or I like a lot of the supplements out there. Certain ones are more important and more beneficial than others, and actually worth taking and considering. This is one where it can be depending on what you're trying to use it for, though. If you're just trying to take something to be healthy, you don't have to take it. But if you want to help release your anxiety, I will say this: if you really do want to relax, release your anxiety, and even sleep better. I've noticed I've taken it too because I've had some sleep issues like insomnia growing up. But ashwagandha, there's different sleep supplements, of course, on the market. Melatonin's probably the most prominent, common one. But ashwagandha is very, very overlooked, but it's very effective for sleep support and honestly, just better sleep quality. So if you want to really reduce your stress, your anxiety, sleep better, enhance and improve your sleep, I do recommend ashwagandha for sure. Also, too, there has been some anti-aging benefits that I've heard to ashwagandha, but especially if you're trying to just have anxiety relief and stress relief and just better sleep, I do recommend ashwagandha for sure.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for that one. Thank you for that. Now, Roman, where can people find you at? They can find you
Yeah.
here, but where can they find you? Where can they find you? Where can they find your services at? Let us know. Let the BTG know.
Yeah, for sure. So if you want to find out more about me, what I do, all the clients I've helped with their transformations, testimonials, and before and afters, then you can literally go to my website at romanfisherofficial.com. That's Roman and then Fisher, Fischer, official.com. And from there, you can literally see not just all my clients, but fill out a quick application and how you can get started and start seeing results for yourself and for your health and your fitness journey. So definitely go there. You can also find me at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and LinkedIn at Roman Fisher Official. And I would love to, connect with you guys one-on-one. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah.
I love that. I love that commercial. Dr. Mike, you've been very quiet today. Did you have any questions or anything to say?
I was just listening. I mean, I'd sit here and get a whole lot of advice because, I probably about 2-3 weeks ago, I was like rock hard. I was a sugar addict, addicted to, chocolate chip cookies and snacks. And when I go to work, so I went to the doctor and I hit the help low. So I cut out all the added sugars that I've been eating, and I've
Nice.
just been doing a lot of research online and actually everything you told me that, with knowing what fruits and foods have enough sugar for me that, I can kind of do that. Now back to working out, that's something I have to get back to working out. But I'm glad the key to what you told me today is started slowly. I'm
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of like Naomi, want to jump back to it and think I can run 5 miles right off the bat because I used to, run cross country years in high school. But I
Oh,
know
wow. Nice.
so I do a lot of working at my job. I do a lot of working. I do about 10,000 steps a day at work working. So that's part of my process too. So I was listening because all the information you done heard it all before, but hearing it from you and seeing that example. So the biggest thing is what you do is the mindset.
Yeah.
So I thought it was going to be hard for me cutting out sweets like that, but it's the mindset that makes you do it, and I'm doing it for my health, for longevity.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's really powerful and how just getting your mindset tuned the right way and then
Mhm.
gradually phasing out unhealthier things and then introducing healthier things that mimic that same kind of taste and flavor. It's funny
Right.
how it can trick your brain in the process. And then you start craving nothing but the healthier stuff ultimately as an end result. It's really cool
Yeah.
how that works. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm ready for a cheat meal yet, because
Yeah, might want to hold off on the cheat meal. And
yeah, I
sometimes,
think I
hey,
need to hold off on
just-
cheat meal.
yeah, sometimes holding off on that, believe it or not, is your best bet, depending on the individual. But in your case, probably hold off on it for sure.
Yeah. But you know what, Roman, thank you so much. Today you have been an example, a great example for us. You starting at 15 years old and knowing what your why is and continuing with that on for another 11 years and standing in front of us as 26 years old. I don't want to say but preaching, but giving us the real has been amazing. It is. You have definitely confirmed a lot of things for me, as I know probably with Dog Pound Mike as well. And I've seen a lot of our BTG crew with their comments as well. Again, thank you so much. We will stay in contact because I would love to have you on and also on my other podcast too.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, again, guys, remember where he said where you can find him at. He's always looking for new clients for the before and after to make sure we get into the healthies when we go into 2025 and a new beginning, a new year, feeling good.
Yes.
All right. Again, Roman, thank you so much. It has truly been a pleasure.
It has. Thank you so much for having me. It's been an awesome time.
Have a good one.
You too.
All right, my beautiful people here. It's been a great week. It's been a great long week. Yeah.
Great.
It has.
A lot of great info.
It has. It really has. As I was talking with Roman earlier, we have been doing a challenge over there at the Season of Self-Love podcast with the book called Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life. And it has been a really great book. The community has been really great with that. And just even this has just been confirming for me as well, knowing that, going forward in with that. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and close it out. Next week, we'll be back next week with a brand new topic. And next month, we got some great new guests coming in next month. The holidays is coming up as well. Again, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in with us live here on Ask Naomi Bridget Gap Podcast. And remember, if you need any love, sex, relationship advice, you can always email us at asknaomi@gmail.com. That's ASKNYOMI@gmail.com. And as I always say, be good to one another, in yourselves, and what? Always keep it sexy. Y'all have an amazing day. All right. Hey, it's the goddess Nami Banks, and I hope you enjoyed that last episode of Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap. And if you did, please like, subscribe, press that notification button, as well as comment. I'll see you next week. Keep it sexy. Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap. This is where we talk about love, sex, relationships, cultural differences, and so much more.